Now, more on the clashes at the residence of the flag bearer of the NPP, and the Bureau of Public Safety has condemned Sunday's confrontations between the NPP and NDC at the residence of the NPP flag bearer. And Nana Addo is Executive Director of the Bureau of Public Safety. I do have him via Skype to talk a lot more about the issue and what can be done to help deal with such clashes once and for all. Hello, Nana. Now
Hi,
it's
and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nana. It's just 22 days to the polls, and already we've seen violence in some areas. Talk of Ododudio, Walensi, and one other this Sunday. Should we be worried?
Yes, absolutely. Let me say a very good afternoon, viewers. I think that we should be worried at such phenomena because have run successfully 6 elections. We at the Bureau of Public Safety think that we should be up and working with data and information that by virtue of previous 6 elections we have been able to gather. If we sit down for such events to occur in our face, especially in the capital, it leaves a lot that people should be worried about.
Now, some have also argued that the inability of the police to prosecute offenders of past clashes has given room to others acting with impunity. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. We live in a country where the police service itself usually come under a lot of pressure from power brokers and influential people. And I believe that that is one aspect of the bane of our problem. We should be able to allow the police service the free hand to enforce the law to the latter. For instance, what happened over the weekend in front or by the residents of the flag bearer of the NPP is most despicable. It's something that should never have happened. That by now, if the police tells us that they are investigating it, is something that everybody should condemn. That several hours on after that incident, we still have the police saying they are investigating, especially when considering the proximity that the residence is to no less a police station as the Nima police station. By now, some people should have been behind bars. Some people should have by now should be getting processed for court and all. We think that this sends a wrong signal across the country, and the IGP, the Minister of Interior, must up their game. In the coming days, they will need them to do a lot more, pre-analysis of every political program, every political event, do hazard analysis to be able to expose problematic areas and put in measures to forestall such things happening.
Now, finally, early on in the year, or sometime during the year, we did see the police meeting with the heads of these various political parties and at some point their members. Looking at what is happening and knowing that we're very, very, very close to the elections, do you think that such meetings have paid off?
Well, to some extent, it's very difficult to say that the meetings have not paid off. But to some extent, I would say yes. And also, we must all understand that this is not our first election. This is about the 7th one that we are holding as a country in the 4th Republic. What we need to do moving forward, that we have put forward in our statement, is that we less than 25 days to the general elections, we must get all political parties, all political actors to sign on to a national peace agreement and hold them to the terms in that peace agreement. 2012 peace agreement was signed just a few days to the elections, and we saw the impact. We must commit these political actors to this peace agreement so that at least when the nation, we get to see, if the grassroots get to see their leaders and their key members holding hands and shaking hands and hugging each other, they know that Ghana is not going to war, and that we are only entering into a competition of ideas, and the one with the best of ideas, with the most populous ideas, are the ones who will emerge winners, so that we can all take it in our strides. So in our statement that we just published a while ago, we have called on the National Peace Council to, as a matter of urgency, get all political actors to commit to a national peace agreement as soon as possible. Otherwise, failure to do that will have the anxiety heightening, will have the acrimony deepening, and to such an extent that it may be difficult for us to reverse it.
Thank you very much, Nana Addo. He is the Executive Director of Bureau of Public Safety. We're grateful for your time. You're still watching Midday Live.